Hello everyone, my name is Veronica. In this presentation, we will discuss about functional testing and non-functional testing. Okay, before proceeding further, let's take a look into the topic we'll be covering in this presentation.
First, what is software testing? Why do we need it? And the second is types of software testing. And the third is functional versus non-functional testing on different parameters. What is software testing? Software testing is a process of evaluating the functionality of a software application to find if there are any bugs in the software or not. It checks whether the developed software meets the specified requirement and detects any defect in the software in order to produce a quality products. Testing is evaluating system in order to identify any gaps, error, or missing requirement contrary to the actual requirement. If the software used by any organization works fine without any drawback, it profits the user as well as the organization for providing valuable application. So, all the application developed by the organization should be tested regularly to verify if it is running as per the user requirement. And why do we need software testing? First, increase the quality of the product developed. And the second is requires lower maintenance costs and therefore result in more accurate, consistent, and reliable result. And the third is helps in providing an effective performance for the software application or products. And the last is it ensures that the application should not result in failure. Types of software testing. Software testing is broadly divided into two major types, functional testing and non-functional testing, which are further divided into various types. Let's understand each one of them in detail. First, let's learn about functional testing. Functional testing is a type of software testing where the system is tested against the functional requirements or specification like the technical details, data manipulation, and processing, and other specific functionalities. You might think functional testing just refers to testing a function method of your module or any class, but that's not what it does. It tests a slice of the functionality of the whole system. Functionality is also a type of black box testing that holds the test case according to the specification provided by the software component under test. Maybe you ask, what is black box testing? Black box testing is a method of software testing which helps in examining the functionality of any application without peering into its internal structures or the implementation process. Functional testing checks whether the application works as per the user needs or requirement or not. Function features are tested by feeding the input and examining the output of the system. Functional testing is more effective when the test conditions are created by the user as per business requirement. Helps in identifying function that the software is expected to perform. Types of functional testing. Let's take a look at different types of functional testing. They are namely unit testing. A unit is the most testable part of any software. It usually has one or a few inputs and a single output. It is a level of software testing where individual units or components of the software are tested. The main purpose is to validate each unit of the software performs as designed. And the second is integration testing. It is a level of software testing where individual units are combined and tested as a group. The main purpose of this type of testing is to expose faults in the interaction between integrated units. And the next is system testing. It is a level of software testing where the complete and integrated software is tested. The purpose of this test is to evaluate the system compliance with the specified requirements. It is a series of different tests whose sole purpose is to exercise the system. The next is interface testing. It is a level of software testing which verifies whether the communication between two different software is done correctly. And the next is regression testing. Regression testing verifies that a code change in the software does not have an impact on the existing functionality of the product. For the last is user acceptance testing. It is a level of software testing where a system is tested for acceptability. The sole purpose of this test is to evaluate the system's compliance with its business requirement and ask whether it is acceptable for delivery. It checks whether the software can handle the requirement tests in real-world scenarios. Now, let's see what is non-functional testing and see what exactly it does to test a software. Non-functional testing is another type of software testing which is used to check the non-functional aspect like performance, usability, reliability, so on, of a software application which are not tested using functional testing. Basically, non-functional testing is done to check and evaluate all the non-functional parameters which are not covered under functional testing. Non-functional testing helps in testing the readiness of a system. It defines the way a system operates rather than specific behavior of that system. This is totally in contrast to functional testing, which tests against functional requirements that describe the function of a system. Let us see what the different types of non-functional testing are. They are namely, first, documentation testing. It helps to estimate the required testing effort and track the requirements. Software documentation includes a test plan, test case, and requirement section. It tests the document artifacts. And the second is installation testing. It is a type of quality assurance work in the software industry that covers on what customer will need to do to install and set up the new software successfully. It checks if the software application is successfully installed and is working as expected. The testing process may involve full, partial, or upgrades install or uninstall process. And the third is performance testing. It is defined as a type of software testing that is used to ensure that the software application will perform well under their expected workload. Performance testing is considered as a heart of non-functional testing. It is further divided into a few types. And the next is reliability testing. It assures that the product is fault-free and is reliable for its intended purpose. It is about exercising an application so that the failures are discovered before the system is deployed. And the last is security testing. It is a variant of software testing which ensures that the system and application of the organization are free from loopholes. Security testing is about finding all possible weaknesses of the system which might result in a loss of information. Okay, let's take a clear look at this parameter and understand how these types of software testing differ based on them. First, objective. Functional testing is mainly carried out to verify and validate the software actions such as the login function, whereas non-functional testing helps in verifying and validating the performance of the software. And the second is area of focus. Functional testing concentrates on the user requirements, like what the system should do under a given situation, and it defines the process that takes place, whereas non-functional testing concentrates on the user expectation, like how the system is built, how does it interact with the user, and so on. And the third is ease of use. Functional testing is easy to execute. The black box testing, where the internal implementation is known to the user, whereas non-functional testing is easy to execute. White box testing, where the internal structure or implementation process is known to the user and there is transparency in the operation taking place. And the fourth is functionality. Functional testing helps in describing what the system should do, whereas non-functional testing helps in describing how the system should work. It means functional testing provides answer to all what function in the system, whereas non-functional testing provides answer to all how question in system. For the last, execution. Functional testing takes place before the execution of non-functional testing. This is because of functional testing defines all the process and this is executed first, whereas non-functional testing executing takes place only after the execution of functional testing, because only if the system is defined you can process further and customize it accordingly. And this is the conclusion between functional testing and non-functional testing. I think that's all for the presentation. I'm Flasma Veronica Hendriana from Informatics Engineering 3G Politeknik Negeri Malang. Thank you.